We're the Dallas Cowboys of podcasts.
That's not funny.
I'm trying to help you out. See,
So,
look, let's
what?
set the record straight for episode 7.
7.
Okay, yeah. See, I totally said that with confidence because I knew that's what it was.
7.
So we're gonna start off with man shit. First of all, what are you smoking, sir? Black market.
What are you smoking?
Black
which
market, not the Esteli, the regular
just
one.
the original black
The
market.
original black market, which to this
Nice.
day I still haven't had. What is it? The Vandal?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know you were telling me that, but I haven't had that one yet. But this is the original black market, which I always like telling the story. This was actually the very first cigar that I had not technically. Technically, the first 2 cigars I ever had were convenience store cigars, and I did not know that you weren't supposed to inhale. So I thought I was just being a wuss. So I was like, oh, I gotta man up. And I would inhale, and I made myself super sick. So then when I finally went to Pastor, shout out to La Casa del Puro, the original, this was the first cigar that I learned how to cut, light, smoke properly, the black market. And I remember because I had a little cigar journal, and on there I wrote that it was a little too strong, that I might try it later on, but it was decent, blah blah blah. And now this is probably my go-to. Like, if of all the cigars I've ever smoked, I think this is the one that I've smoked the most, is the black market.
The Steli. Well, right now I'm smoking Norteño by Drew Estate. This is one of my top 10 cigars.
That is a very good cigar.
Yeah,
I like that one as well.
I like it a lot.
No, I probably would say top 10, because it's one of the few that the way that I usually, I don't want to say rate, but the way that I judge cigars for the most part is, do I remember liking it, or is it something that I can't honestly remember if I like it or not? Does that make sense? Like that one, I know for sure that I liked it, so it probably would make my top 10. Whereas if what is it, Mi Familia? I remember the name, but I don't remember liking it. So I'd probably have to try it again to remember, but I don't remember liking it very much.
Mi Familia, my father? Thinking my father?
I think I'm thinking of my father.
Yeah.
Sipping. What are you sipping on? I am having the beer that finally made it to Texas, Yingling. And I gotta say, I don't think it lives up to the hype of Yingling, but I could definitely make this my everyday beer. Like the way most people will drink Bud Light or Budweiser, or Mexicans have their Modelos and their Dos Equis. This could be my just have it in the fridge whenever I want a beer. If I'm going to make it a point to drink like a good beer, I'll probably do more like an Amber Bock, a Fat Tire. But just for like an everyday end of the day in midsummer drink, I could do this.
So since it is Sunday,
yeah, brother, you're too close to the mic there. It's distorting. You're a little too excited about your Cowboys.
Very excited. Woodford and Coke. It's Sunday. I'm not doing Woodford Straight. I should do Woodford Straight, but it's just regular Woodford Reserve. It's a little bit of Coke so I can smoke my cigar and do the podcast. Nice. Yeah, I bought a bottle of Woodford Double Oaked, which is my favorite. So I'll probably pop that one next weekend, because I was thinking about doing it yesterday. So we had an event. Though we didn't have an event. We went to an event there at the spot, Cigar Lounge, and it was Jerry's birthday and Hector's birthday, and we were there for a good while. And then like around 8:30, we went back to Current Place Cigar and hung out there. Watched the Yankees beat the Mets by 1. And just hung out with the guys.
Cool.
So yeah, are you excited about football season, or we obviously know who my team is.
Yeah, we obviously know who your team is. And that's what I like. I joke around a lot. I like to pick on Cowboys fans, but I know who to actually pick on, because if I'm actually picking on you, it's because I know you can handle it, and I am just teasing, because most Cowboy fans get super butthurt, and even though they try to pretend like they're joking, they're not. So for the most part, I am teasing, but honestly, my dad was probably the biggest Cowboys fan I knew, because he was actually to a point where he could tell you the entire roster for that season. He could tell you what college they came from. He followed all of that stuff, dude. He
Oh,
was a
nice.
fanatic. My mom to this day is still a Cowboys fan. So I grew up technically as a Cowboys fan. But I ended up finding my own team by myself, which is the Raiders.
Oh, and how did that happen?
That as a matter of fact, I was telling Cinda the same story earlier. I don't know if you remember back in the day, after Saturday morning cartoons, they used to have like a Hall of Fame football show where they would talk about the history of a certain team or just football in general. They had an episode on the bad boys of the NFL. At that time, I actually started like following the Bears. Then I started watching that episode, and they were talking about the bad boys of football, and they started talking about the Iron Curtain, the Steelers from the 70s. And for like 5 minutes while I'm watching that segment, I became a Steelers fan because I was like, oh my God, they're badass, they're fucking bad guys. And then they finished the show with the Raiders, and they were talking about how nobody wanted to play them, and not because they were really good, but because you knew you were going to get beat up. Like that, you walked out of there with injuries because they played so hard. They were the winningest team of any sport through the 70s and I believe the early 80s. And they just kept going on and on about how they were like the bad boys of football in the mid to late 70s.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, nope, that's it. I'm doing my own thing. I know my parents are Cowboys fans, but I'm gonna be a Raiders fan. And this was like, I want to say 85, 86, when they were barely coming off of their winning streak. So
Nice.
they've sucked ever since, and it's probably my fault.
Well, they got a really nice stadium, so
Well, they do now that they're in Vegas.
yeah. So we're watching football on Thursday, Cowboys Tampa Bay, and I'm sitting outside watching the game, and my daughter usually watches with me, and my wife goes inside, and I think she had happened to ask my youngest, "Hey, you gonna watch the Cowboys?" And he says, is Tom Brady playing?"
Ooh, you got one of those.
Yeah. So I think yeah. No,
Damn.
my oldest is a Steelers fan. My daughter is a Cowboy fan, and now my youngest is a freaking goat fan.
How did your oldest end up a Steelers fan? Is Liz? She? I know she says Cowboys, but she doesn't really watch it.
Oh no, she watches it.
Okay,
Yeah, she
so
watches it with me
how did your oldest end up Steelers?
because her best friend is a Steelers fan,
Mm.
and needless to say, she I think he had a crush on her. Let's just put it that way.
Ah, okay, I got you.
So yeah, so she was a Steelers fan, and he became a Steelers fan. Not that he watches football or knows who anybody is, but
Mm-hmm.
he
He was
has an Antonio Brown jersey for the
he was
Steelers
just
in his
laying that
closet.
he was just laying down the foundation for doing Mrs. Robinson thing later on when he got older. I got you. I got you. Hey, more power to him.
Yeah,
I don't know if Liz will like that could happen, but hey, he's what, 20?
20. Yeah, it'd be 21 January.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. It's all on
Well,
him now.
well, she recently got married, so
That's all right. What he doesn't know. No, I'm just playing. Um, but yeah, I secretly root for the Cowboys. That like I actually tried watching the game. I was actually working, but I was trying to watch the game through the NFL app on my iPad because I don't have a TV set up in my office. So I was trying to watch it, but for some reason it kept cutting out. The NFL app was working perfectly today when I was sitting outside and I really couldn't pay attention. But that day, for some reason, it just wasn't working. So I wasn't able to really pay attention. But from what I saw, dude, you guys got a hell of a shot this year, dude. I mean, I know the Cowboys fans like to say every year, like, this is our year. But honestly, based on that game, you guys went up against the champs. And from what I saw and heard, if it wasn't for your kicker, you had a decent shot at winning that game.
Yeah, I think it was really good. They did very well. I mean, I was truly impressed of what they did, and it was an exciting game. There was back and forth. I think Tampa was on top most of the time, but we were like neck and neck, and the kicker missed,
Mm,
I believe, 2 or 3 field goals or some shit like that.
no, I think at one point at the beginning of the game, you guys were leading. Actually,
Was
I
it? I
th-
can't
I th-
remember.
I think you guys had the first official touchdown. They had the first two field goals. At one point, you guys were up 7-3 and then 7-6, and then that's when they started scoring
Oh yeah,
touchdowns.
that's right. I wait, you know?
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, I pay attention. Like I genuinely like the Cowboys. I grew up a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. So I mean, I know the kicker didn't go to training camp and he was out and something about his back. So he was pretty fresh still.
Okay.
I guess rusty or whatever. So I mean, I think we picked him up from the Rams and he didn't do very well at the Rams. And just recently I know that Jerry Jones said that he's gonna stick it out. He's gonna keep him. So we'll
He
see how
tends
that
to
goes.
he tends to do that a lot. A lot of people have that complaint with Romo that he just stuck with him for too long. But honestly, it probably would worked out better because considering the line that you guys have had for a while, if Dak had started sooner or anybody else, they probably would have gotten hurt because the line hadn't been that great until probably the last two seasons.
Yeah,
They've
true.
been doing
True.
a lot better.
Yeah, and this year I know that Tampa had all their everybody that won with them last year in the Super Bowl was playing. So if you think
Mhm.
about it, these guys kicked ass all last year, and for the Cowboys, America's team that nobody believes in, for them to actually have that type of game with them and Tom Brady, you
Yeah.
know. But I knew if we gave Tom Brady a minute and a half, not even, 50 seconds, 30 seconds, he can pull something out, you know.
Yeah.
He's Tom Brady. It's just like he's in the same league as, or I mean, he's in the top league, because he's the best of the best. But same thing with Rodgers, and Rodgers will, you give him 30 seconds, he'll make a touchdown. You know
See,
what I
and,
mean?
and you know what the funny thing is? I'm such a Brady hater that the only time I can give him credit is when somebody's playing against him. Like I won't say that Brady's good. What I'll say is that if you were able to play that well against Brady, you accomplish something. Like that's the
Yeah.
closest to a compliment that I'll give that fucker because I honestly believe that yes, he is a good quarterback, but he has always had a good line. Anytime he has any kind of pressure on him, he sucks.
Yeah.
He's bad. He's not a good quarterback because yes, if you give him a decent line, he's great. But if you give a lot of quarterbacks good line, they'd be phenomenal. You wouldn't have the conversation that you're having right now about Brady because, dude, imagine Drew Brees. Imagine even Manning didn't have a great offense. There's a lot of quarterbacks that would have been phenomenal if they had had the line that he had.
That's true. And you've seen him, throws little fits when he gets hit or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. He's what, 44 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a top tier, quarterback of quarterbacks. I mean, he went from the Patriots um to Tampa Bay, and everybody was like whatever. But then when he was able to actually like pull this shit off, I guess then and then you understand how good he is. And I never liked Tom Brady either, but man, the shit that he's done, you know what I mean? The way
You
that he
can
is.
you can't argue with facts. You can't argue with the stats. I mean, he's got the stats, he's got the rings, he's got everything to back it up. But again, my only thing, because that's the argument that I used to have, and that's probably where people started thinking I was a Cowboy hater. But way back in the day, that's the argument that I used to have about Emmett Smith and Barry Sanders, because everybody was like, "Oh, Emmett Smith," and blah. I'm like, dude, he is not that great because he had probably, arguably, one of the top five offensive lines in history,
Yeah.
and in his day. But if you pay attention to how he ran, as soon as he was gonna get hit, he'd go down. He was not a power running back.
Yeah.
He had the yards, but it's because he had that amazing offensive line. If you had put Barry Sanders behind that offensive line, he would have demolished every fucking record that was out there. Because Barry Sanders, you got to think of it this way: Barry Sanders, for every 5 yards that he gained forward, he ran about 15 or 20 side to side before he gained those 5.
Yeah, sure that.
Emmett Smith was just straight run forward. As soon as he got hit, that's it. He was down.
Yeah.
How many yards did he really pick up after getting the first hit? It wasn't that many.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense, dude.
And that's where I'm at with Brady. Like, yeah, I get it. He's arguably one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in NFL history in stats. But
yeah,
dude, I'll take dude, Roethlisberger's another one. Put that guy behind a good offensive line, he would have crushed records.
Yeah. And he's still playing, right? Roethlisberger?
I'm not sure. I haven't. That's another thing. I miss my regular network television because I don't have Sports Center anymore. I used to watch the shit out of Sports Center.
Well, I got a lot of all the updates on my phone, so I get a lot of the NFL updates, everything that's kind of going on, and stuff like that. That kind of keeps me up to date. You know, some of the baseball stuff that I watch. I'm not really too into basketball or hockey or anything like that, but baseball and football. You know, I don't have time to watch baseball. I wish I did, but I don't. But when the World Series comes around, you know what I mean. That I'm ready for that. So same thing with basketball. Once the end comes out, the finals and all that. We're pretty much watching, some of it, not all of it, but some of it,
And it's funny because that's a conversation that I was having with Lucinda, that we were driving and we were talking about sports in general. And I tell her that, like, of all the fan stories that I hear, like, oh, my son, because of his uncle, he's a Steelers fan, or because of my wife's best friend, my son's a Steelers or whatever, like, hers is probably my favorite, because in baseball, the reason that her and I are Red Sox fans is not that we like the Red Sox. It's basically fuck the Yankees.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's pretty much all. Because I remember, I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I remember the World Series when it was the Yankees and the Red Sox, that the Yankees were up 3-0. You can't hear me? Okay. The Yankees were up 3-0, and the Red Sox came back to win the whole thing. They won 4 games in a row, and I was like, dude, that's it. I'll follow the Red Sox because fuck the Yankees, and that was amazing.
And that was your turning point, right?
Yeah. Like, I still don't, to this day, I don't watch a lot of baseball, but when I do, it'll be the Red Sox, and like you said, probably the World Series I'll pay attention to, just because it's a different game once you're talking about an actual championship.
Yeah, and me, it was mostly like the Rangers. I watched the Dodgers, for certain reasons. And you know what I mean? I never kept up with the Astros, but here lately I've kind of like taken a liking to the Astros, just because most of the guys at the shop watch the Astros and stuff. Well, not all of them, but some of them,
Right.
Bill in particular, watches the Astros. So
and that's my thing right now with sports in general. Like, technically I'm still a Raiders fan, but in reality, it's like I tell people, in all honesty, what are you being loyal to anymore? Because they change coaches like crazy. If the players aren't producing, they get rid of them. So what, you're being loyal to what? The logo, the city? Like, because if that's the case, then I should be a fan of Texas teams.
True. It's true. But, everybody has their own reasons. I mean, my wife's a diehard Yankees fan, because her dad was is a Yankees fan.
See, that makes more sense. Like, if it's a family tradition, sure. Like, I love seeing that. Like, when I see an entire family that they're all wearing the same jerseys and shit, like, that's cool. It's a family tradition. Some take it a little too far, like that one guy in that video that he named his kid the Dallas Cowboys. That's a bit excessive.
What did you say?
Well, that
it kind of like glitched out a little bit. It was really weird.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get too bad on the video. But anyway,
no, it doesn't look bad. I just like right when you were about to say your like that little statement, it was like.
Hopefully it recorded. No, yeah, that the people that take their fanaticism too far. That guy that actually named his son the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not that.
It's like, I like the Cowboys, but not that much.
No, well, we know this lady. She changed her name to something Dallas, right? Yeah, her middle name or some shit, and she put Dallas. I don't know what.
See, at least
legally, an adult.
Dallas is actually, you could actually pull that off as a name. Cowboys, no, that's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
but Yeah. So let's see what other man. Oh, we were gonna talk about your man shit that you did today. Let's start off. I think what'll emphasize how manly you were today will be to emphasize how much of a little bitch I was today. So I had the birthday parade for my daughter, and we set up a little table, try to get some shade, and I was up and moving around doing stuff, but it was crazy hot. And as I've said many times, mad props to people that work um construction, uh yard work, all that stuff, especially in the summer, because I could probably get used to it, but honestly I don't even want to try. That shit is crazy.
Oh hell
And
no! I
apparently that's what you did.
yeah. Well, it's because we have a lot of like home projects to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like one weekend we put up a fence, another weekend I build a room, and this weekend we have like an in-ground fire pit that was
Mm,
already here. I'm sure it's been here since like the 70s or something.
okay.
And when I put up the fence on one side of the house, I repurposed all the bricks rather than throwing them away. I repurposed all the bricks
Okay.
so I can lay them down on one end of the house, so I can move my shed from a slab I have back here to the side of the house, so it can give us more room back here to build a pergola, you know, put some like outdoor dining stuff, a TV. I have a TV already right now in my patio with my patio set.
Right.
But that's just, it's kind of like a progression. Okay, we put up the fence so we can, get rid of the fire pit, repurpose the bricks so we can move the shed, refinish the slab that we have there, put the pergola, put my grill over there, throw some more cement, you know what I mean? It's like a little
Right.
process. So yeah, me and my wife were doing that today. She was, raking stuff and picking stuff up while I was moving the bricks and breaking down the fire pit. And the fire pit's done. It's like there's nothing there anymore. So all
Okay.
the pricks, all the pricks, all the bricks. Uh, I laid out all the bricks, and it looks like a 10 by 10 area of
Okay.
just little bricks. And I mean, they're not perfect because it was a round, like a circular
Right.
shaped fire pit. So they're all little like different pieces. So I mean, I made a square, a big ass square with these bricks, and
Right.
I kind of like had to fit them in certain places. I'm gonna eventually put some sand in there just to like even it out and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did, and it was what, like 90 degrees, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I was sitting probably about half the time and mostly in shade. And I was spent, like when we were done, I had, during the time that we were there, was probably drank like 4 bottles of water, and then I still had like water on the way to the restaurant, and then at the restaurant I had like 3 glasses of tea just because it was fresh and I was thirsty. So I was like, dude, when I saw the picture of the stuff that you were doing, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm gonna stop complaining, but fuck that. That's fucking
Well,
crazy.
well, the idea was to wake up early and start it because I
Right.
usually wake up early, but we kind of hung out a little long at the cigar shop last night, and I drank moderately.
Dude, and that's the other thing, because I'm pretty sure even if you're not having a traditional hangover, I'm pretty sure you're having what most people would consider a hangover, and then still be doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I had my little helper, so she helps out a lot. She's right next to me. That's why.
Right. No, but seriously, dude, it's funny because she'll go over to the shop and Saul's putting a table together and she'll just jump in there. Like she doesn't need to be asked. She just jumps in there and like, this, you're doing it wrong.
That's how she is.
It's like, move aside. Let me show you how to be a man.
Yeah.
But that's a compliment to you as well, because that means you have to be more of a man.
Oh shit. Hence our manly segment.
Our man segment. What
Hey.
else can we talk about that's manly?
Mm. Training
Luckily,
dogs not to bark.
training dogs not to bark. Oh, I can't do that anymore.
Oh man, you know what? I'm so sorry.
It's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
For those that don't know, I had to put my dog down on Wednesday. Been super bummed out the past few days, but today, dude, I literally don't, this probably isn't very manly, but I don't give a shit. I almost broke down because we gave my best friend what was left of the dog food, and I was like, have your kids go get it from the kitchen, dude. I can't touch that shit because I'm gonna probably fucking start crying or some shit. We
So
gave her.
What was your dog's name?
Reggie.
How long did you
Regina.
have it?
I didn't name the dog, obviously, so don't laugh too hard at the name, but her full name was Regina Sunflower Bowers Coronel. My oldest named her, and she was heavy into what was that? What's that Disney show? What's that Disney show? We'll edit this part out. What's that Disney
You
show?
wanted to say hi?
Live action.
Lion King. Aladdin.
No. The TV show, not movie.
iCarly.
No, not Enchanted. iCarly. Menso. Not Enchanted. The one
Phineas
with
and
the.
Ferb.
Okay, now you're just naming random shit. I can't remember, but the main queen or whatever her name is.
Never ending story.
No, I never saw it.
Oh my god.
I know that one's Brett. Like we had that embarrassing admission in the last episode, but this one's really bad. Like I should have definitely seen the never ending story.
How did so? And you watch Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that last you finished it. You caught up. You're caught
Yeah,
up with
I'm
everything.
fully caught up. Yeah.
So then that last episode didn't hit you like it hit everybody else. Then
What? No. Why? What's the last episode? What's in the last episode?
when they sing the song.
Oh no, it didn't. I knew what they were doing because
Yeah.
he mentioned specifically what he's talking about. Why, thank you, babe. That's all right. That's even better. Look at that. This is a kind of service.
Damn, look.
Look at that. Look at that. Right. In honor of the Sun City Craft Beer Fest, which has been
Nice.
postponed, but look at that. I get
Nice.
excellent service here. I should do this more often.
Right.
Yeah, so I knew what the reference was, but I myself have not seen it. So I know there's a super tragic scene that affects a lot of people with the horse.
What
So-
horse? Oh yeah, the horse. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
I can't
don't
remember his name.
I think when
Falcor, I don't know. I don't remember.
No, I can't remember. But I think when I finally do see it, because I have to, I'm making it a point to go back and watch it. But
I'm surprised they haven't done a remake for that one.
well, they did at least one sequel. No, I think it has at least one sequel.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's two stories. They changed the kid, different kid. But yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, I remember. I mean, I was really young. I mean, I would say like maybe 8, maybe even younger, watching that movie. I think I was even younger.
Probably.
I remember watching that movie. Yeah, and then watching it over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? Because it was just that type of movie. It's like the Goonies. You could watch it over and over. You know what I mean? And yeah,
I think for me, I don't know how close it is, but for me, I think it probably would have been more Labyrinth. Labyrinth, I saw a lot. The way that most people would probably say they watch the never ending story. For me, it was Labyrinth. That's not very manly of you, sir. I don't know what happened. What'd you get? Was it a bug in your drink? Please tell me it was a bug in your drink. That's going to be amazing. Sucks for you, but I think that'll be amazing that if it was a bug in your drink. What was it?
I don't know, dude. It's like something hard in my drink.
It was a
Probably when
bug?
I was moving everything around. It might have been a bug, but it was like hard.
Something hard in your mouth, huh? Interesting. Well, that ends our man segment.
Yeah, that's a good way to go out.
The best way to end a man segment is with something hard in your mouth.
Yeah, can't beat that. Shit, dude. I saw it floating around in there too. And I just forgot about it.
Was it just the fact that it was hard, or did it have like a bad taste to it?
No, it was just like it looked like a piece of plastic. So I don't know if it was like it fell in my drink or when I was moving everything around, but
I'm willing to bet bug because that happens to me a lot. Where I'll have to fish it out. I'm not gonna throw away my drink, so I'll just drink whatever.
I think the worst is the ashes. Like if I'm drinking and smoking and I drop ashes in my drink.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. That one I think I probably would throw out just because it creates that chalky. Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
Yeah. If it's a little bit like I can pull it, just dip my finger in there and then like pull it out.
Yeah. I think there was
It's a-
once that I dropped enough to where I could try fishing out, but I still had some chunks, and that's when I was like, mm-mm.
You know what's
It's
even worse? When you're sitting next to somebody, I'm not going to say any names,
okay.
but and you put your drink to the side right next to the ashtray, and somebody ashes in there
Instead of the ashtray.
instead of the ashtray, and you don't know, and you're taking a sip, and you have a big old piece of ash in there. Yeah, that's happened to me.
Well,
What?
did you catch it before you took a drink?
No, I drank it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I actually, luckily it didn't happen to me, but I have a story that's actually worse than that. I went out drinking with the pilots that I work with, and one of them dips,
Oh,
and he had a beer bottle that he was dipping into, that spitting out into, and he put it down, went to the restroom, and the girlfriend or fiance at the time of one of our other pilots was three sheets to the wind, and she reached and she got the dip bottle instead of her beer.
oh my God.
And when she got right about here is when I caught it out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, Ash. And I didn't even say Ashley. I just got the Ash part. She was already like that with the dip. Yep. And it was to like when she was I'm not a power drinker, but like one of those real female like drinkers, not like dainty. She
Yeah.
went for it, like drank, not just sip. Like she blew and just, oh dude, that was
she
I
went.
felt bad.
She went out.
Yeah, she was I was like, oh my god, dude, that's I don't think anybody's gonna beat that in my life, like that I actually get to witness. I don't think anything's gonna beat that.
Yeah. Did you go? Would you go to Juarez to go party when you were
Oh
younger?
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
you never got a beer bottle with a freaking cigarette butt in there or some shit.
Dude, I made it a point. I never put my drink down when I was in Juarez.
Yeah,
I
makes
always
sense.
carried it with me, so I never did that. The only thing, the one story that I can tell is we would go there so often, and I would usually, especially after I got paid, I paid my mom half the rent, I paid bills, I paid my car payment, and then everything after that was mine. So we would walk in, and I would get the cubeta, big old fucking case that they would just pour ice into, get drinks, and I usually paid for most of it, and I would tip pretty well, so the waiters knew me. So we did that one day. I got a bottle, and we'd usually get a couple of beers and start walking around the club and stuff. My buddy stayed there and was hammering, dude, because he wasn't paying, so he just sat
Oh,
there the whole
geez.
night just hammering.
Yeah.
And by the time we got back, he was plastered and he was just holding on to the tequila bottle. And we got there in time because some other guys were trying to take the bottle from him. So we ended up
Oh,
in a big old fight because they were smacking him upside the head trying to take the bottle away.
oh,
But
geez.
that's how plastered he was practically passed out there at the table.
And yeah, oof. Yeah.
Good
Juarez
times.
days.
Yeah, the Juarez days were crazy.
In other words, whoever's listening that's not from El Paso, that's Mexico.
Yeah,
And
like the stories that people will talk about being in San Diego and going across the border to Tijuana.
yeah,
That's our version of Tijuana. It's
yeah.
super easy to get across to Juarez going to Mexico, and legal drinking age over there is 18, and even then they don't give a shit. So because I was 17 when I was going over there.
I went when I was 14, bro.
No shit.
Yeah, I had a person of family family member that was older. I'm not gonna name him, you know what I mean? But he would take us out there
Right.
and we'd go partying, because he was like 18, 19 at the time. And
Right.
he's like, let's go, dude. And guess what? It wasn't just me, it was me and my other two buddies. Like, let's get out of here. And I'm like, okay. So guess what? And we didn't drink at the time. So we'd be like drinking and then be like,
Right.
mixed drinks or whatever. And then we walk and we just like pour it out. And then we walking around with an empty cup because they're like, we don't want to drink that because we're young,
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, you're empty. Let's get another one."
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, round and round. Just reminded me of the sticky floors walking around the sub.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. As a joke, did he ever mess with you guys and take you over to the Mariscal?
no, that's one thing he never did.
What
And
what part of Juarez would you go party at?
usually we're at we always went to when I first started going, we are there at the sub, La Cabana, just right there on that part of the strip. And then later on, that's when we started going to Preppies, and
Mm.
Copa. You know what I mean? I never
Mm.
went to the Derby, and Vertigos.
Shit, at that, I'll say, so you went to the more fresa ones.
Yeah, because
Yeah, dude, I was.
we're always in Vertigos. When I was in high school, that's where we, every Sunday we're at Vertigos,
Nah,
and then
see, dude, we were, I was the buoy crowd. So when we would go over, we would go to the ones that were right as soon as you crossed over the XO and the Live. Dude, that was just straight up Bowie, Jeff. He said all the lower valley schools that would hang out there. So yeah, dude, that shit got crazy.
well, I remember that a lot of the people from Isleta um, would go to the Derby, and I never went to the Derby. And a
Mhm.
lot of people that didn't like me at the time went to the Derby, so I really tried to avoid it. You know
Right?
what I mean? So, and then the ditch parties, you would go to USA Connect.
Mm.
Yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon, getting drunk. You know what I mean? And then walking out of that club, and it's like daylight, and you're like, "Oh my god, what am I doing? I need to get
Right?
home."
Right. You had some very liberal parents there, buddy.
More like they didn't know what the hell we were doing, dude.
Right?
It's just like, Mom, yeah, I'm staying after school. Got theater art stuff to do.
Did you ever confess and tell her what you were really doing?
Um,
Or did she ever find
no,
out?
yeah, eventually, you know what I mean? Like they always do. Parents always find out. So
Hmm.
growing up, you know what I mean? I would, be out in Juarez and stuff. And she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you going over there?" It's like, sorry.
I went to go look for work, ma.
Right.
That's funny. All right, sir. We'll try not to go too deep. So getting into the geek stuff, we try to get through as much man stuff as possible, and that's it.
It's all right.
We'll pretend
It was
to
a good
take off our.
segment. It was a good
It
segment.
was good. It
Oh,
was
it's
good.
good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. We should do that. We should try to focus on that more. Now that football's here, we could do that more often. So first up from Rotten Tomatoes, the first official trailer for Don't Look Up. I've been hearing about this movie for quite a while because of the star-studded cast. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Rob Morgan, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Tyler Perry, Timothy Chalamet. That kid's gonna do it. If that kid, I hate to say it, it sounds fucked up for me to say if he doesn't die, but if that kid sticks around, he's probably gonna have a long, good, good long career. Ron Perlman, Ariana Grande, Kate Blanchett, Meryl Streep, Scott Mescudi, dude, tons and tons of good actors. And at first I thought it was going to be like one of those dramas, um like an Oscar contender, which it might be still, but when I saw the trailer, I'm like, this is kind of like a just Armageddon parody movie. It's a funny, quirky version of a doomsday movie.
You know what? When you send me the link, I saw Jennifer Lawrence,
Uh-huh.
and I was thinking, okay, another like thriller or something, because I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't heard of it. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay. So I checked out the trailer, and I was like, what the hell? Had nothing. My head was when I saw the picture, or you know what I mean, the link. My head
Yeah.
was one way, and then when I saw the trailer, I was like totally like,
Yeah.
all right, this is like nothing like what I thought.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
I
it
was the
looks really
same way
good.
because I didn't make the connection with the title "Don't Look Up," but like I said, it's apparently like an asteroid's going to hit Earth, and the government isn't taking it seriously. They're like, dude, do you know how many times we get reports of stuff like this? But apparently, it's like really a possibility, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio trying to convince them like they need to do something about it. But it's from the guys that did, I think, Step Brothers and Anchorman, something like that.
Same guys.
So it's gonna be like a comedy, but dude, with this cast, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it.
When does that one come out?
I don't know. I was trying to see if it said on here, but it doesn't. Um, I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up later, but that looks, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, dude, for him to be in this kind of movie also.
It just says 2021. Let me see. I'm gonna put
Oh,
release.
it's this year? Okay.
Hold on.
Step Brothers and Anchorman.
December 10th.
Okay. Dude, the end of this year is gonna be crazy with movies. Gonna
Okay, wait,
need
hold on. So this is a big thing. So it says that it says Don't Look Up arrives in select theaters Friday, December 10th.
Okay.
2 weeks later, Netflix releases it on Christmas Eve. That's that's
Nice.
that's yeah.
I'm actually enjoying that they're doing that because now with work and my schedule with Lucinda's and the kids, it's actually harder for me to get to the theater. So the fact that they're releasing them on streaming is great for me.
Yeah.
So thank God for that, because I was really hoping they would do that with Shang-Chi, but they didn't.
Well, it comes out October 18th or something like that. They'll release it. Disney's gonna release it October something.
Really? Nah, I
Yes.
still like there's no way I make it a whole month, dude, without seeing spoilers. There's no way. As it is, I'm surprised I haven't seen any yet.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't even want to get into it.
No, well, we'll try to do a mini spoiler-free review if you can, but we'll wait till the end because we got
No,
some
that's
things to
fine.
cover.
No, but I mean, either way, I'm anticipating you watch it so much. So let's just wait until you watch it, and then we'll
Okay.
just go full throttle on it because damn, it's like, yeah. Sorry, bro.
Okay. We'll do what we did with that other one where we'll do like a spoiler-free review, and then the full review will be on the audio podcast.
That sounds like a plan.
So Cinematic Source has, I hope you saw the full thing, but the full trailer for Injustice, the animated Injustice movie from DC.
Looks really good.
Dude, I'm telling you, you should. I don't know if since you haven't seen much about it, I would say don't watch anything else until the movie comes out. But if this hadn't come out, I would have been like, dude, go to YouTube and watch. They put together the animations from the video game. They put them together into like a kind of a movie, and dude, the storyline is fucking amazing. But don't do that anymore. Now that the movie's now coming out, just wait until the movie comes out. That's gonna be fucking amazing.
And when does that one release?
I don't know that one, dude. I should start looking these things up before the show because wow,
Am I putting you on the spot, bro?
you always
I always
ask,
do
and
that.
if I were better organized, I would have these answers for you because it would be more of a better flow for the show. But I don't know. I know it's coming. It says coming soon to digital and Blu-ray.
April 3rd,
That's
2013.
not soon. No, stupid. I
That's the wrong
scared
one.
the shit out of me. Dude. I was
No,
like,
it's because
April.
I googled it and that's the first thing that came out. But I don't even know what that is. My bad.
It's probably the video game.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But hold on, let me. It doesn't say anything. Is it? I literally. Is it Injustice by itself?
Yes.
So it's just Injustice.
Injustice animated movie release date is, it should have it at the very top, but it doesn't. Releases October 19th. There you go. October 19th is going to be Shang-Chi and this. It's going to be a lot of stuff to watch that week. Moving on. So that was Injustice. And then they finally released the trailer. This is from Rotten Tomatoes, a full trailer for The Matrix Resurrections. I could probably get way more in depth, but I'm going to just keep it short and simple with the story looks, I don't want to say generic, but it looks like just another excuse to make another movie. I don't think it was too well thought out, but the visuals in this trailer look to be as innovative and amazing as the original Matrix was at that time. Because if you go back and watch the Matrix now, it's pretty dated, but if you keep in mind when it came out, the visuals were fucking amazing at that time. And I think that's how this looks. Like the visuals in this thing look fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was really impressed of just the trailer and everything that it has, as far as just these little snippets, of course, that we get in these new trailers of new movies. You know what I mean? But this one, for some reason, it's like, okay, you know what? I know that. Again, I'm the type of person that says, okay, there's this new movie coming out, and it's like 3 before it. Let's go watch them. Let's get refreshed on them. So when this one comes out, you can just like put them together and be like, all right, you know what? It's amazing. You know what I mean? Just to get that feel again. Same thing with 007. I'm still trying to get those movies before the new one comes out. just so that
Right.
we can watch it. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the Matrix. Get my little one on it, my 10-year-old, because he's my partner in crime. You know what I
Is
mean?
your
So
wingman?
he's my wingman, and he hasn't watched any of the Matrix. So I'm gonna put him on it, and he's gonna, hopefully he likes it. But yeah, I think visually, it's jam packed with amazing graphics. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
it's
It
so
looks
good.
great. And I'm not gonna say that I'm a super fan. Like I can't like I have a bad memory, but at the time that they came out, I was all about the Matrix. I even made it a point to watch the Animatrix, which was like 4 stories, I believe, that they did animated, but that tied into the storyline. And for a while, I was actually playing the video game. So like a lot of the stuff that's filled in with those things that weren't in the movies, like if you tell me about them, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that from the video game. I remember that from the Animatrix. I'm really looking forward to it just because I was a big fan of the Matrix at the time, but like I said, the story is the one that's got me a little concerned because it and maybe they're just doing that for the trailer. Maybe it's just gonna be so much better in the movie. But
Well, I
again,
think I
December 22nd. So
oh, you got the release date for that one,
that one, it has it on there.
huh? Better.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I
Um,
was probably eating the mic. Just get
nah,
so
it's all right.
excited sometimes.
Right? You're just excited to do the show. Dude, I'm actually really looking forward to finally recording in person again because this is cool and everything, but I really prefer the in-person ones.
Same.
The Mighty Miles has the trailer and okay, Miney. I was gonna say mini and something else. My mini rant for this week will be it bugs me. It's very, very trivial, but it bugs me when they put trailers or teasers. This for the Wolverine video game is a teaser. It is not a trailer. And vice versa. When they're like, oh, the teaser for it's like, dude, that was a full-blown trailer. What are you talking about? But anyway, this is official trailer, but it's not. It's a teaser, at least in my book. But from this Insomniac studio, which does a lot of really good games. I can't name them off the top of my head. Spider-Man is definitely one of them. But we're gonna get a Wolverine video game. Did you ever
Now,
play? Did you ever play any of the Batman?
I think I don't remember. I know it's been a while.
My biggest
This
complaint was I played through a good chunk of the Batman series, and by the time Spider-Man came out, it was so much like it that I was like, I've already played this kind of a game that just because you put Spider-Man doesn't make it that much more exciting to me. So I'm hoping it's not like that, but honestly, I'll probably still play through it just because it's fucking Wolverine. Like, did you ever play
and
the X-Men video game way back in the day?
yeah, of course. And then even the Capcom when they came out with the fighting one.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the one you're talking about, right?
No.
You're
It was
talking
a
about like the
it was a
the
side scroller.
yes, yeah, okay, of course we played. I think they had that at their arcades too, right?
That one was different because that one was like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where you could play 4 players
Yes.
at one time. No,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one was a complete side scroller where you could switch between playing as Wolverine, Cyclops. You could switch out the characters and you had to play as different characters in order to complete certain missions.
Okay, I probably did. I just don't remember.
Dude,
But
I played the shit out of that game. And
yeah,
Wolverine was probably the one that I used the most.
where did it come out and what did where what
I want to say it
console?
was PlayStation 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was way back in the day.
So I remember I had the PS1, then I had the Dreamcast, and then I think after
Wow.
that, yeah,
You were
then
a
we went to,
Dreamcast guy, huh?
yeah, we had the Dreamcast because we played NFL, Madden. I think we had Madden on there. I don't even remember what was on there, but Dreamcast, and then I think after Dreamcast is when I went into Xbox and left the PlayStation. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
after that, it was just straight Xbox, never looked back. And then here recently, my youngest has a PS4, and I've been like, oh my gosh, I've been playing Call of Duty, but I don't
Mm.
have the game, so I just play Warzone. I'm like
Mm.
addicted to it, dude. And it's like,
I I want to get into it because I play a lot of Apex. So I've wanted to get it. I downloaded Warzone, but
yeah,
dude, I had to have so much memory devoted to that one game. And to me, Warzone is definitely one that I need a friends to play with. I can't play that with just random people that they put you in the room with.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, dude, if you had time to, if we could jump on, like, I would be willing to make space on my hard drive and download it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had been wanting to play Call of Duty with you, but I know you play Apex, and my son has Apex, so he's been on that. Right now, Fortnite has some like 11-hour delay or something, and he's pissed off because he wants to play Fortnite with his friends. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's like, stop. Nobody's playing Fortnite right now.
Really
There's a countdown for like 9 hours. So he's playing Apex. And
interesting.
I'm like, just play Call of Duty, dude. And he's like, nah, I think I'm gonna play Apex, which is cool. But I mean, there's so many cheaters on Warzone. It's pretty pathetic, you know what I mean? And
What made that worse is the crossplay, which, dude, I remember back in the day thinking like how awesome would it be, and now that it's here, it's not getting a lot of, like, nobody's talking about it. But there's just the fact that, like, I pay attention when it matches me with people. Like, it'll say on there if they're on Xbox or PC, and I'm like,
yeah,
ah, shit, this guy's on the PC. It's probably gonna be hacking and shit.
yeah, but you know what? These PC players, hold on.
Yeah, so it it's cool, but at the same time, it kind of ruins it because it makes it so much easier for them to hack and cheat. Um,
But
but
their gameplay is so much easier and more fluid than it is on console players. It's not the same.
yeah,
I don't think that they rank. It's not ranked the same because it's so easy. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of videos of how easy it is to play on PC. You know,
hmm,
rather than playing with a joystick, not a joystick. Yes, joystick, guitar, me, 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 me.
right,
No, but you know what I mean on a controller. It's
yeah,
just so different, and I think that's a downside of having that crossplay. You
yeah.
know, but that's just me, and you know what I mean. And it's because they're better than me. That's why it pisses me off.
Well, but that's the thing; they're not better because if if you were to switch with them, you're gonna pick up the PC and do a lot better than they will with the controller.
Yeah.
So that is what it is. But that's gonna be pretty cool.
Anyways, thanks for that rant.
Right?
Yes, we are gamers. Yeah, we're old,
Oh, dude, we're all
but
kinds of nerds here. Like, we're the full blown nerds.
hey, guess what? I was fucking cleaning my yard, picking up brick, you know, and then I
Yeah,
go
see,
inside and I'll play
he
video games too, and I'll watch cartoons. Fuck you. I'm just kidding.
and the Cowboys. That didn't help your case. Never mind.
Thanks a lot.
Uh, so DCMarvel.rdm. This, okay, we're gonna get into Shang-Chi a little bit, but try not to spoil it. But according to this, Rotten Tomatoes has ranked the top 5 superhero movies. It has at number 5 with 93% Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. At number 4 with 94%, Zack Snyder's Justice League. 94% top, and number 3 is The Dark Knight. Number 2 with 95% is Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the one with Mysterio. And at 98%, Shang-Chi. I still find it very hard to believe. I honestly think it's the hype that's making it get this kind of, but you tell me,
Okay,
is it,
wait.
because, dude, honestly, Into the Spider-Verse, Zack Snyder's Justice League, The Dark Knight, Far From Home, I don't know if that one should be top 5, but those 3 alone, like, honestly, dude, Shang-Chi is better than those 3 movies.
Okay, this movie is amazing.
Well,
It,
okay, let me tell you my perspective, and you tell me if I'm spot on or if I'm gonna change my mind. I honestly think that it's because we've had so much buildup from Iron Man through all the Infinity Saga, through the multiverse saga that they seem to be starting now. It's got so much backstory built up that between that and the hype, people are like, holy shit, this isn't. But you're comparing it to The Dark Knight, Justice League, Into the Spider-Verse, which are a little closer to standalone movies, and it doesn't have all that backstory built up.
Yes and no. I haven't looked at the facts of why it's rated so high.
Okay.
But it being martial arts esque type movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that particular comic book overseas has been hit so hard, and since it's not like an Americanized comic, and everything
Okay.
overseas, you know what I mean, it hits different, right?
Okay.
But it's like Bruce Lee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Lee did badass overseas,
Right.
and then when he came over here to do everything that he did very well, but he wasn't as known prior. He had to come in and work into the United States, blah blah blah, whatever, right?
Right.
So I think that's what it is. I think that's why it's ranked so high, because the numbers everywhere else. I'm thinking that the numbers everywhere else are so high because he's very well known on other parts of the world rather than the US. Honestly, I had never heard of Shang-Chi, never read the comics, didn't know anything about Shang-Chi. Nothing, like absolutely nothing. The 10 rings, nothing. The first time I heard about the 10 rings was in Iron Man.
Okay.
Which had nothing to do with Shang-Chi, right?
Right.
So I think that's why the numbers are so high. However, the movie is amazing. The storyline is awesome, and the little stuff that they put in there that kind of like put it, how do I say, the things that tied into our MCU universe that's going on right now,
right,
with it happened after Endgame and this and this and this, that was like, okay, great, all that together just made the movie better.
So in Marvel we trust is still very true.
Yes, and my brother, the one that does his podcast, and we hopefully get on later,
right,
just watched it today, and he was like, bro, and we're texting, right? I was like, I told you. I was like, I freaking told you that it was going to be an amazing movie. And it was. And I don't know if it's partially because we waited so long for Black Widow and it didn't. And
it didn't deliver.
It did in a way.
Well, here's the way that I've put it is that it did meet my expectations that I had a year ago. It didn't meet 2021 expectations. It definitely met 2020 expectations.
That makes perfect sense. And in that aspect, I understand what you're saying with that. And it makes that I'm completely with you with Black Widow. Now, when Shang-Chi came out, you know what I mean? I was excited. You know what I mean? I wanted to go watch. It's another, I was just like, okay, it's another Marvel movie, whatever. Right. It was kind of like, for me, it was kind of like on the same level as like Ant-Man and Wasp. You know what I mean? That's
as far as your anticipation for it.
Exactly. Because I mean, if it was Endgame, I watched it that Friday, 10 o'clock, I mean, I was there, boom.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this one, I mean, I was, Labor Day, I could have made it a point to go watch it, but I didn't.
Right.
And I should have. You know what I mean? So
right.
If you get a chance this week.
Oh, I'm gonna try to figure out a way, dude. On Cinda's off on Tuesday, so I'm trying to see if maybe we can catch the first showing, but that's gonna depend if my mom is able to watch the baby. Well, she's not a baby anymore, but hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully for Tuesday, I should be able to see it. So, all right. Well,
either way, that's it, dude. Either way, and it was just me and Max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just me and him, my partner in crime. You know what I mean? And me and him went, watched it. My wife didn't end up going, neither did my daughter, which was really surprising. But, it is what it is. They'll watch it next month.
Is your daughter into these movies at all? Kind of, not really?
She watches, yeah, she's very, if a new Marvel movie comes out, we'll all go to the movies to watch it. So she's into it. She's just not, I would say like 70%,
Okay. How about your oldest?
He does, but he doesn't watch it with us anymore. He goes with his girlfriend.
Okay. He's at that point. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, moving on real quick, we have the new Avengers 101. Well, it's the _new_Avengers _101. Anywho, Destin Daniel Creighton recently revealed that before taking the job of directing Shang-Chi, he had told his agent to never let him do a Marvel movie. I thought that was funny as hell, considering that he apparently has done so well that it's considered the best comic book movie done so far.
That
I don't know why he said that. I'm gonna have to look more into why he said that, but I don't know. I guess maybe if he's trying to be taken more seriously as a director,
yeah,
that's probably not the best thing to have on your resume, even though fans will be like, "What are you talking about, dude?" Like that gives you a lot of credibility.
exactly. Yeah, it's clout. It's all about the Marvel clout.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to make it a point to go. So anyway, this last one it'll tie into moving on to what if, but it's that meme I sent you about episode 3. It shows the coffins because all the Marvel characters died. Episode 4, it's showing uh the darkness of what's his name, Doctor Strange. Episode 5, it's showing the zombies, and then it has a clip from Deadpool where it says, "So dark, you sure you're not from the DC universe?"
And it
The
is.
line from Deadpool, and I think that's honestly what's making What If so much better for me, because they're I don't think the rest of them are going to be as dark. I think 3, 4, and 5 are going to be probably my favorites because of how dark they are. Um, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's good to see, because I don't think they'll do that in the MCU. I don't think they'll, even though I mean there's the death with people being snapped away and stuff like that, but they don't get dark per se. DC gets dark.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of DC movies are more drama filled. That's
Yes.
that's that's the difference I see in the MCU versus DC. The DC is very drama filled, and there is some stuff that's comedic and stuff like that. But
Right.
Marvel, just like you said, you know what I mean. They know what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and if it works, they continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's basically the same, stuff throughout all their movies. Um, but yeah, What If is a little dark, but it's good. What'd you
Yeah.
think about this
I
last episode?
So the perfect segue. Thank you for asking, sir. Um, I liked it. I'm trying to think. I've been so caught up with all the other stuff that we were talking about. I'm trying to
It
piece
starts off with
together.
Banner coming in.
That the first few minutes bugged me a little bit. Is it Mark Ruffalo that did the voice for
Yeah,
Banner?
yes,
I don't think he's a great actor, but he does okay. But
yeah,
voice acting, he sucks.
yeah,
He It was bad. He did a few callback lines from the movies,
yeah,
and he did not pull that off well. I don't know if it was maybe directing. Maybe the director should have said, "No, I need more of movie delivery, because this is just isn't working." Um, the way that they introduced the whole zombie thing, interesting. I find it a little weird that they chose to go with Hope yet again being the cause of what's, or directly related to what was going on, because that's what happened in the Death of the Avengers one. It had to do with Hank Pym avenging Hope, but there seems to be a lot of Ant-Man and Wasp in What If.
yeah. You know what? I did notice that it is a little odd, but I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it's. I'm not going to call it a fan service because it's not, but I don't know if it's. Are they doing something to tie it in to the Quantum Mania? You know what I mean? Or I don't know. But yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, I am kind of noticing a little trend of them using them, for that.
Yeah,
I mean, even if it's just the last, it was the last, not the last two, but the
3 and
one,
5.
yeah, 3 and 5 that they used it for. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
the only thing that I could think of is that in the grand scheme of the MCU right now, that's probably the weakest link in their movies, is the Ant-Man and Wasp movies. But they seem to have a big role in the storyline, because the quantum realm is what allowed them to go back in time and get the Infinity Stones. Um, what's Lang, dude? If it wasn't, I mean, technically speaking, if it wasn't for the rat, we wouldn't have had Endgame. But it was him that pretty much allowed them to go back to get the stones. So they have a huge role to play, but the movies don't seem to reflect that.
And you're talking about the rat, right?
Yeah,
Not
the rat that.
Lang?
Yeah, the rat,
The rat. No, I'm gonna be honest with you.
the real hero of Infinity War.
Paul Rudd just being in the movie or any of the movies and his comedic aspects at being Scott Lang. I mean, I love the way he kind of portrays Ant-Man.
Yes.
His character, the way he talks, excuse me, the way his comedic stuff, his comedy stuff. My gosh, it makes him be like one of my favorite actors in Marvel.
Yes.
Just because of the way he is. He reminds me of Deadpool. What's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Reynolds is still a little bit funnier than him because he's very like
he's very quippy. He's very quick with the humor, like just off the top.
Exactly. But I think that Paul Rudd is a little bit more relaxed towards that, but it still comes out like super funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just seeing him, but yes, I do agree with you that those are probably the movies or the movies that are a little bit that are lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, in the MCU.
Yeah, and I hate to say, but I think it's just the character of Ant-Man that just seems like that, like, and they did it in this episode for one scene that I can remember, but it's always bugged me that, no pun intended with bugging me, but like he'll shrink to run somewhere, and it's like, dude, running across this table is gonna take him like 2 minutes, but yet they, in the time lapse of the movie, they're showing like he did it super quick. I'm like, no, if he wants to get somewhere super quick, you get big, take one step and you're there.
Yeah,
because they're driving somewhere. They're in the episode, they're driving, and then he expands to destroy that zombie. I'm like, dude, driving at that size would have taken you like 2 days to get to where you were supposed to go. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's funny because my son's like, what happened? And I was like, they were small.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, because the zombie was so big, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like what's going on here?
That split second when it happened, I'm like, what the oh, they were small, got it. They have no problem with killing people off in What If, which makes sense because in other parallel universes, certain characters are not important enough to keep alive. But dude, like the way that they were turning people left and right, just at the whole explanation as to what's going on for some reason felt very Walking Dead to me.
Yeah, it did. But then when they kind of, I guess they didn't really explain how she got it. Hank Pym's wife, I always forget her name. It's kind of like, okay, well, she was there. Did she die and not die, or you know what I mean, or was there something else there in the, what is it called, wherever she goes or where she went? I was gonna say the quantum verse, and that's not
the
even
quantum
what
verse.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Oh shit, I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Anyway,
but you know what I mean. When you know what I mean, her being there, you know what I mean. How did it happen? You know, and you know, there's a lot of plot holes in the stories, and you know what I mean. It's just
that's the thing. They're giving us the meat and potatoes of that story in a 30-minute chunk, because I have a feeling that they might take their most popular episode and expand it into something else. They might, but other than that, dude, there's gonna be a ton of story, like why did this happen, what happened afterwards. There's a lot of what happened afterwards, because dude, I would love to see. I think episode 2 is probably the worst so far. I really don't care, but all the other ones, I'm like, dude, what happened after? Like, I'd love to see what happened after, what led up to it. There's a lot of story that they could tell, but like I said, they're giving us 30-minute chunks of that universe. So I don't want to say we get what we get, but
no, really I complain. But in all, I think it was good. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but you know know, it's probably top 3.
Shit, we're gonna get. It's gonna be very difficult to do this. We're gonna have to write this down probably, but just off the top of your head right now, uh, episode 2 is definitely the worst so far.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was the death of the Avengers. Between 1 and 3, I definitely like 1 better still. I liked 3. 4 was
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Oof. That one's probably number 1.
Same.
Zombies. So zombies. I still really like the Captain Carter one. I think I would probably go with Doctor Strange, Captain Carter, zombies, death of the Avengers, and then T'Challa.
Okay. I think so too. I mean, I would still kind of rank zombies and Captain Carter like, you know, right there to where they're both kind of like almost equal.
Mhm.
But I think I like the zombies one a little bit more, only because of their changing storylines, because you've never seen this type of story in Marvel. You know, there's
Right.
never been anything about, you know, zombies and, you know, stuff like that. So I think with
Well,
that,
this is based on a comic book series. They did have a
yeah,
zombies.
no, that, yeah, that I understand, but throughout the MCU since it started, it's
Oh,
always
gotcha.
been kind of like, you know, straightforward. There's a
Right.
villain, there's a hero, you know, and this one is kind of like, oh shit, you know, there's a disease, you know what I
Right.
mean, or, you know, a sickness. So I think with that being said, I think that's why I think I would rank that one a little bit above Carter, just because of that. You know, it's just something new that hasn't come out yet.
I get you. And I think for me, the reason that Agent Carter's still pretty, or Captain Carter's pretty still like pretty high up there, is because I think that episode did so much better at the fan service than any other episode so far. Like
True.
the lines, the tie-in to like a true what if, because the other ones, it's just like a random what if, but Captain Carter seems to be a very specific what if. Like if she had done that, then Rogers would not have been a super soldier, but he still took over the Iron Man suit, or the War Machine suit, the one of the first ones. So he becomes that. Bucky doesn't become the Winter Soldier, and he makes that little joke about his arm. Like just those little tie-ins, I think have been done a lot better, and I like that.
Yeah, and it's true, and it's more like the butterfly effect. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because as soon as Carter took, you know, Captain America's place, I mean Steve Rogers' place, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of like just progressed from there. And you know, this didn't happen, this didn't happen. You
And
know,
I
Stark
and I
turns.
think
You know,
that's what, because Doctor Strange does do that pretty well. Like just that one little thing, that one little difference changed the timeline. But Agent Carter seems to have done that a lot better, because that's basically all what it is like this one incident happened and it changes everything. But for some reason, it feels like Captain Carter did it better.
yeah. So it's a storyline that you like
Yeah.
more than Captain Carter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'd have to go back and rewatch them, because honestly, the Doctor Strange one might actually beat out Captain Carter. It's just at this point, having seen them only once in this order, that's where I'm at, but it might change. Well, no, we'll have to see. There's still what, 4 more left, so
Yeah.
who knows? There might be one that surprises us. Because honestly, dude, after Captain Carter, I was like, I don't know if anything else is gonna beat this.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
So okay, at the end of What If, what did you think? Because they were going to Wakanda.
Well, not so much the going to Wakanda, but did I understand that correctly? Thanos is standing outside of the border waiting.
He was inside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was a good. It was a good cliffhanger because you're like,
Hell
oh
yeah,
shit,
dude.
what?
Zombie Thanos, dude.
Yeah.
That shit. Hell yeah. That would be. I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know if they'll expand and do like a full season on just one of the episodes, but That one would be pretty good. Because the Captain Carter, I think that's pretty much cut and dry. Like, that it's what happened. Doctor Strange, they might fix that anyway. T'Challa, I couldn't really care less about that one. Zombie, this one is probably the one that would be most interesting to keep going and see what else happens.
And then see who's alive and who, who made it. And
Mm-hmm.
man, but zombie Thanos, yeah.
Yeah.
As it is, he's a super villain, and for him to be like that, not caring and just wanting to kill everybody, I
Yeah,
think it's like pretty. I think it's pretty much over.
yeah, he's not going to be methodical and only kill half. He's just going to wipe out everybody.
Yep.
So moving on from that, not that we want to, but I think we've already ran over like quite a bit. Did you try starting American Horror Story at all?
No, I think
That one's I know your reason for liking Hotel, but I did not like Hotel. This one is, I think it's because I took such a long break from watching American Horror Story that it's cool to get back in from having gone through the superhero movies back into American Horror Story. I'm liking it so far. It's keeping me interested enough that I'm gonna finish this season just to see how it plays out.
Yeah, because I think that I'm looking at them now, and I've seen Murder House, Asylum, Coven, Freak
mhm.
Show, Hotel, Roanoke, and
I like Roanoke.
yeah, I don't know if I saw Colt or not. And
Cold was pretty good.
Give me the gist real quick. You remember?
It's where the people, they took the whole political thing and just like completely went like way left and way right, where people are super fanatical to the point where they're killing each other.
I didn't watch that one, so that's where I
That
stopped.
one was okay.
So Colt and Apocalypse.
We didn't finish Apocalypse. We started it, or did we? I think it wasn't interesting enough that we just kind of pushed through. But I don't remember how it ended, if at all. So I might not have finished Apocalypse.
So those two I didn't watch. And the new one's 1984, right?
1984 was pretty decent just because it was my era. The storyline, the tying in of like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, and I need to get these people to shut the light off. They completely threw off my lighting there, but hopefully that doesn't look too horrible. Anyway, the Richard Ramirez thing, that was pretty cool. I might have to do that myself. I know, right? Keeping with the horror theme.
Well, the thing is, my light changed, so I have no like daylight anymore, and I'm using my lamp, my fan. I'm sorry that I'm outside, so I look a little yellowish.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna cut this part out.
That's cool.
Sorry, We're back. So I took your suggestion and started 9 Perfect Strangers
on Hulu.
I wish I had gotten through more. Story-wise, I'm kind of interested where it's headed, but not. I don't think this episode did enough to get me interested. But I'm gonna keep going. How many episodes are out so far? How many have you seen?
I think 5 episodes. I think it's 5. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, 5 episodes.
And
it's a little slow. I'm gonna admit that it is a little slow.
But I want to say most good shows didn't get really good until close to the end of the first season. The end of the first season is usually what hooks people. Like, I got to keep watching this show, but you have to push through. Just based on one episode, if it was just based on storyline and it had regular visuals and stuff, I think I'd be like, maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. But because of the visuals that this first episode has, I am totally interested in this show. The visuals are fucking amazing in this show. The way that they're using, like before they used to use cranes or helicopters to get these, big wide angle shots or whatever. I can tell you for a fact that they use drones to take some of these shots, which look amazing. The way that they opened up the show with the blender, Like it's
Yes.
very artsy visuals, and I'm totally digging that. Like even the way that, like, I don't know if you noticed, but on some of the characters, and I want to figure out why, on some of the characters they're zooming in, but on others they don't. Like when I don't know the name of the guy, but the guy that's at the store, and I think he might have a gay lover.
Lars.
Um, Lars. Um, for some reason they zoom in on him when they first show him like his scene. They zoom in on him, but they don't do that with Melissa McCarthy. They don't do that with Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
They do that with him, and I think one other character where they'll zoom in when they first show him, and then they'll have the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
Like from a visual standpoint, it's really intriguing me. So for that reason, I'll probably keep watching and see how it pans out.
And then you're watching them make smoothies, and you're like, damn, that looks good.
Right, dude. Like, why are they tailoring the smoothie to each one? And they're making a point like, make sure you finish it and do not share.
Okay. How many episodes? You only watched one, right?
Just one.
Okay. So, like, me and my wife are watching it. So, we're already at episode 5. I think it's episode 5. There's a reason. Just wait till you get to it. But
Okay.
it's kind of like a buildup. And Bobby Cannavale's character
Uh-huh.
is awesome. I think. Whoops. I think that his character is very like. God, I keep hitting my mic. Is very deep, and you'll see in
Okay.
the episodes to come. How deep they go into each one of them, and it's a story of each one of those people, why they're there, why they chose them, and
Right.
then they kind of give you the backstory of her.
Okay.
Her being, what's her name?
Nicole Kidman.
Yes. So she does very well too, in this show. So I mean, honestly, I think that are you watching it alone?
No, Cinder's watching it as well.
Okay, cool. So I think between y'all two, because me and my wife are watching it, I think y'all two would do, it's a good like couple show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think you'll like it. Yeah.
That'll be actually pretty cool. I don't know if we should do, like, once this first season ends, I don't know if we should do a 4-way episode and
what?
talk about it.
Did you say a 4-way
Episode.
Oh, okay.
Nothing weird. Or I'm even thinking maybe we should let them do an episode where it's just them two talking about it. Maybe we could do it in segments. We could do like them talk about it and we try not to listen, and then we talk about it. Or maybe just do it all 4 at the same time. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But that'll be pretty cool.
I think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get a little mix into what we do here. You know what I mean? I know that we've been wanting to like incorporate other people, being other people into the show. So with them to, just adding to it, I think it'll be good.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea, actually. That's a good.
A different perspective.
Idea. Yes, sir.
Yep. I'm trying to think. What else did I watch?
Did you watch Kate?
No, I wanted to try last night, but last night there was a bunch of stuff going on, and when I would have watched it, except that you said for the second time you said 9 Perfect Strangers, so then we watched that instead. We watched an episode of American Horror Story, and then we watched 9 Perfect Strangers. So
and the only reason I'm not on American Horror Story, well, I watched it, always after the fact, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to like get back into it. And like I said, I stopped, and my wife never got into it either. So I think we need to start watching.
I got you. Yeah, I honestly probably wouldn't have. It's just that's kind of a couples thing now. Like that's just one of our together shows, because we've talked a lot about like Breaking Bad and Dexter that she didn't really watch and I did. So it was always watching them separate and coming together with the idea. But now this is something we're watching together. So it's kind of our thing. So we'll make it a point to finish this one. I keep trying to convince her to push through and watch The Walking Dead, because we need to finish this series now that it's ending. But
dude, no, seriously, you need it. Right now I'm trying to get back on it because they've already had a couple episodes. So I'm gonna start, trying to get back into it. But I've watched almost religiously, the series. So man, just get back on it. And once you get back on it, then it's gonna kind of like it'll it's like a refresher. Like, oh, okay, this is why I watched it. This is why I was,
I
so
got you.
when I came into it. So
Right.
I really
That'll be
recommend it.
interesting. I'm trying to think. There was something else that I started watching. I haven't meant. You don't remember me mentioning anything else?
Mm, Not off the top of my head, but I think
Yeah,
Kate
we
was
could.
one. But you know what? Kate's getting a lot of great reviews.
Well, the funny thing is, it's getting a lot of good reviews, but there's also a lot of people that are maybe overthinking it, saying that her action potential is being wasted on on that movie, which I find interesting because I thought that she was a huge waste in the Harley Quinn movie. The character that they gave her in the Harley Quinn movie to me just was pointless. Like I think she was wasted in that one.
Wait, who is she?
I don't remember the name of the character, but in the Harley Quinn, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey,
Okay, was she the like the
the
ninja?
Huntress. I think it was a Huntress.
She have a sword?
I think so. I didn't really like that one that much. My daughter loves she loves Harley Quinn, so she loves that movie. But I wasn't a big fan of Birds of Prey. Um,
I
I,
watched it.
dude, I'm too much of a geek sometimes. I like that people say I overthink, but the kid in that movie is Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain in the Batman mythos and the Batman universe is probably the best hand-to-hand combatant in the entire Batman. Like she's kicked Batman's ass on a couple occasions.
Oh shit.
And so for them to have dumbed her down to this quirky, like people might say, well, you don't know what she's going to become later. DC isn't doing a long-term story. They're just doing like one-off movies. So don't fuck with major characters like that. In my opinion, I don't know. I think that was a huge way. Like they could have made her anybody else, given her a different name, and it would have worked just fine. Why make her Cassandra Cain, which is one of the most badass characters in the Batman universe?
We're gonna go back to DC and their fuck ups. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because they could do so much and they're still in the MCU shadow.
Yeah,
So unfortunately for them, it's probably the higher ups that are the ones that are you know making these decisions and not knowing who's what. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I think it's that, like we were saying, these executives that are saying, "Oh well, who's give us a big name and we'll throw them in there." It's like, no, dude, like you don't know the history. So, like I said, they're doing with a lot of characters and storylines what MCU did with the Mandarin, and that's probably to this day, I think that's probably the yes, kid. It is dark out here. I'm gonna have to cut this out. Luckily, you can't see her, but I'll probably still have to cut that out. All right, let's go. Thank you. Um, they, that's probably the biggest fuck up in the MCU, but I don't know if Shang-Chi fixes that. But
I'm not gonna say anything.
no, don't let the mystery prevail. So I don't know. That's my big gripe with Birds of Prey. But anyway, so Kate, yeah, I'm really interested in seeing that one. It makes me want to go back and keep talking about it, or we keep mentioning, but the bubblegum unicorn, we always fuck up the name.
Cupcakes and milkshakes or some shit.
Yes, cupcakes
Yeah.
and milkshakes. Yeah, that
You
shit.
know what? It seems really good, and I honestly I haven't even finished it, but I will. If you're gonna watch it, I'll watch it too. But I know that you haven't watched it, and I haven't finished it, so it's not really one of those kind of like
It's not high up on the priority list.
exactly. There's so much shit going on
Yeah,
right now that it's kind of like okay, I'll put it
there's
on
a
the list, and if I can get to it, I'll get to it. But if I
there's a
can't,
lot to
sorry.
watch, dude. That's the reason that I want to go back and watch The Sopranos. I have HBO Max, so I want to go back and watch The Sopranos, but with everything that I'm trying to catch up on, it's hard, man.
Yeah, and with the Sopranos, I know I send you like a snippet of the last episode, and I did not understand the last episode for the
Mm,
life of me. When I saw it explained on TikTok of why,
right.
it fucking blew my mind, dude. I
Yeah.
was like,
Now,
makes perfect sense.
have you seen the trailer for the Saints of Newark?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from what you've seen of the trailer, do I need to make it a point to try to watch all of the Sopranos in order to get the full effect of that movie?
You know what?
Or will watching the movie make me want to watch the show?
I think since it's a prequel, I think you're better off watching the movie before you watch Sopranos.
Okay.
But there's a big but. You learn all these characters, you know what I mean? I guess when they're older, then you know what I mean. You kind of
That
understand characters and who they are, because of the series. And then if you watch the prequel, then you see, oh, that's why this guy's the way he is. That's
that
why, you know.
that's the feeling that I get when I first saw the trailer. I was like, I think I get the feeling that it'll be better if I watch the show and then the movie. I think it'll have a better effect than watching, because I mean it's almost like watching the first three Star Wars movies, the Phantom Menace, the Attack of the Clones, watching those and then watching 4, 5, and 6. I don't think it has the same effect.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So
Because I made it a point, like with my nephew, I made it a point when he was starting to get into Star Wars, he wanted to watch Darth Vader. And I'm like, no. If you're getting into it, you're gonna watch 4, 5, and 6 the way that we had to, and then go back and start, because I think it has a better effect. I don't think, especially with the visuals and stuff,
yeah,
it's just fits better.
So, I mean, just you saying that, now you know how to watch it.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Unfortunately, it's a shitload of seasons.
I know, dude. That's a lot to watch.
But it's a good, like, kind of like, I know that you work from home, so it's like if you're there and you just put it on, and then something comes up, you could stop it. You know what I mean? Because it's right now, it's at a point where you could just pull it out. Everything's on demand now, so you can watch it. You know what I mean?
you know what the only sad part is, that in order for me to do that, that means I have to stop watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
because when I'm working, that's exactly what I'm doing. I have Always Sunny playing on in the background, and then when I get a phone call or something, I hit pause. Dude, that fucking show is fucking hilarious.
Okay, I've never seen it, so I guess that's on my list too.
Dude, and the good thing about that one is that you don't, if you stop watching it because you're watching other stuff, you can always come back to it and just pick up where you left off, because each episode is different. There's not like a continuous storyline.
Okay,
dude,
explain it, since I haven't seen it. Give me like the gist of what it consists
of. The best way that I could probably describe it is, how if you have like a group of friends, most groups have like that one guy that just does the dumbest shit, but he can rationalize it. But it's always like, oh, it's the way, like, God damn it, this guy again with his dumb shit. Imagine if all the group of friends were that stupid.
Oh, okay.
They just dude, they're like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts off with 4 of them, and then they introduce Danny DeVito in the second season.
Yeah,
dude, it is the 5 biggest idiots, and they think they have the greatest ideas ever. And it's just, dude, it's stupid. It's just 5 major fucking idiots.
so let me ask you this. I'm sorry, go ahead and finish.
No, go ahead.
That what? No, you're like that, and I just cut you off. So
no, it's just, I can't, other than that, I can't think of how was it. It's just the 5 biggest idiots that at some point they should have, like, almost like the way Seinfeld was, like they were all kind of dumbasses in their own way. This takes the dumbassery to another level.
Did you watch The Office?
I couldn't get into it. I watched probably the first half of season 1.
Okay.
And it's a lot like that, maybe like the way that a lot of those characters, except for maybe I forget his name, John Krasinski, the character, him and Pam or whatever, like they seem to be like the 2 smart people that are among idiots.
Yes.
Imagine you take them out and you have nothing but idiots.
Well, I really like The Office, and I watched it after it ended. You know what I mean? Of course, just the way I am.
I'm willing to bet that if you had a conversation with people that have watched both, I think I get the feeling that there's 2 different kinds of comedy people. It's The Office people and Always Sunny people.
That's a good way to say it. Where are you watching it on?
Hulu.
Okay, cool. All right,
Go
I'll try to
back
get
and
into it.
try. And the good thing is that it's only like 30-minute episodes, so you could just put it on, and you honestly could probably watch them at random. But if you can, just start it from the beginning, because there is a little bit of like, if you watch right now, all of a sudden episode 3 from season 2, there's going to be little comments or something that will make sense if you saw the beginning.
Makes sense.
But you don't
Okay.
have to. You don't have to. But if since you have the access to it, just watch it from the beginning.
Okay.
Just like the first, give it like the first maybe 3 episodes.
Okay.
Because dude, the shit that they get themselves into, they're just fucking idiots.
Hey, talking about Hulu, not to change subjects or anything, but have you ever seen Dave?
That sounds familiar. Which one's Dave?
It's the rapper Little Dicky.
Oh no, that one's supposed to be really good. Like they get pretty raunchy in that show,
It,
apparently.
it is it. I watched I think the first. I don't know if it's 3 seasons that they have, or the newest season just came out. It might be 2, but oh yeah, that's like stupid funny too. And again, it's a bunch of friends that are he's a rapper or he's a upcoming rapper, but in
Right.
real life he's a rapper. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in real life they're his friends, and he made his own show.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's one that you can. It's an easy watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also like 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It makes sense for it to be short. How about this? For the next one, we'll try. I'll watch the first 3 episodes of Dave, and you try to watch the first 3 episodes of Always Sunny,
Okay.
and then we'll go
I
from
think I
there.
can do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, because they're short and simple. So, all right, cool. Well, I lost a lot of light, so it looks really. Ooh,
I know I'm
like,
using my phone.
so am I, but usually I can get better lighting than this.
Oh,
I don't know.
that looks good. That looks better.
On yours? Oh, you're not using your light?
No, I had to plug it in and do all that bullshit. So
Oh.
I just propped my phone up. Looks
Yeah,
the same.
so did I, but yeah, yours looks pretty good. Mine looks like I'm trying, and then I think it doesn't help that I have a mosquito candle next to me, so I get that
Well,
flicker as well.
It's
Oh no,
funny
so you can't
because
see it.
it's your light that you had kind of gives it like an intimate feel, and then I could see the candle flickering. You know what I mean, on the side of you, so it's kind of like it's very intimate, and mine's just like pop, like
Right.
fucking bright.
It's going to be really interesting since it flips back and forth on the video. It's going to be really interesting to
It's gonna be
see
light
how
and dark.
plays in. Yeah, that's going to be funny. All righty, sir. Well, thank you for taking the time. I know you had a long day. You probably just wanted to chill and relax, but
I am chilling. I am relaxing. This is how I relax.
nice.
We're good, bro. Hell
good.
yeah.
Good. All right. So with any luck, I will have seen Shang-Chi by the time we do the next one. What If will be out, and you'll watch Always Sunny. I'll watch Dave.
Okay. And then Kate, try to
Yeah, I should be able to squeeze. That doesn't sound right, but I should be able to squeeze Kate in there. Yeah, that sounds weird. And you know what the funny thing is? I think part of the reason that I'm kind of excited is because of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I have a little bit of a crush on Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay.
I really like that movie. Did you ever see that one?
Yes, I did.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love that movie. That's one of those movies that I had playing in the background. Like I've probably seen it like 20 times.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. So, all right, brother. Well, appreciate you.
Hell
Have
yeah.
a good week. We'll probably
Great.
chat in between, but if are we gonna try to do the shop next week?
I think so. I know that there's going to be football games, so as long as we can get in there early,
yeah,
I think, yeah.
Okay, I'm excited to try out the camera.
Hell yeah, me too, bro.
That's gonna be good.
Very excited.
Right, like wide-eyed and shit.
Oh fuck, dude! I need to stop making stupid faces because you keep putting it on my Instagram.
That's what makes everybody interested, dude. You know what's interesting, and I might cut this part out just because it's gonna drag on a little longer. The TikToks are actually getting better responses than the Instagram stuff.
Oh, cool. And I like the little snippets that you put, and then when you're like when you're doing the visual, you know what I mean, and then popping little things here and there, where the like the little gifts or whatever. I think that looks awesome. So continue, bro.
I think each one has gotten like 150 views, which I know isn't a lot in the TikTok world, but it's quite a bit. And probably like 1/3, not even 1/3, but a few of them are getting likes and a couple of follows. So
oh, sweet. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Okay.
I'm not that loved. Look, it's been empty for a while already.
More like the Cowboys. Them boys. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Wish me luck tomorrow because the Raiders play the Ravens and we're gonna get our asses stomped.
At home at Roomba Stadium.
Shit, I didn't even pay attention. I think we're at the Ravens actually,
Oh,
but it's the Ravens. They always have at least a decent defense, so
yeah.
that should be interesting. So, all right, brother. Appreciate you.
All right.
You have a good night.
You too, bro.
All right. Peace. Peace.